Promise to be true and help me understand, 'cause I've been in love before and I found that love was more than just holding hands. If I give my heart to you, I must be sure from the very start that you would love me more than her. If I trust in you, oh please don't run and hide. If I love you too, oh please don't hurt my pride like that. 'Cause I couldn't stand the pain, and I would be sad if our new love was in vain. So I hope you see that I would love to love you, and that she will cry when she learns we are two. If I fell in love with you.
I must ask you again, he had a wonderful talk. He said how great American products were, and I said, Soviet products, just as good. But some of the things you had a juicer, thing to crush oranges to make juice. This capitalist.
We make it more efficiently, we make it better, it tastes better.
It tastes better crushed by machine because you're too weak to
Absolutely.
do it yourself.
No
You
germs.
need a servant to come and do it for you.
Absolutely sanitary.
Sanitary. I think this is the
Now
whole
let me show
crux of
you
the
our
difference.
newest color television. And did you know that we are right
we
now,
invented color television.
Oh.
We invented it. We invented
right
these
now
things.
we are being videotaped in color television. And that will be shown
Videotape, don't-
not in the Soviet Union. You don't have color television in the Soviet Union.
KGB has color television.
Well,
KGB
maybe,
knows everything.
maybe you're going to be in color for them. But not for anybody else, but we'll be in living color in their living rooms here back in the United States, you and I.
This seems to be a waste. Why not have good job, get good money, have good home, and you don't need color
All of these
television to keep
things-
them blind to the truth of the world.
All of these things lead to the quality of this house that we're standing in.
Yes.
That is an example of what is life in America like.
Yes, low ceilings. But I don't wish to. It was nice to see you again, but
My
I had
sort
better
of
go.
pleasure, sir.
Tomorrow night, come to my home. I'll tell you the truth.
Not that many people had televisions, but I knew Dwight Eisenhower had television. And if I was on a national network, he'd watch. This was my speech in which I mentioned at the very end that we had a dog who was a gift to us during the campaign, a little Cocker Spaniel named Checker. And I said that we hadn't received any great large gifts, but we had received Checkers, and the girls liked him. And I don't care what anybody says, we're going to keep him. Well, apparently Dwight Eisenhower, along with a few other things that I said, liked what he saw, and he kept me on the ticket. It was a life-changing experience. Pat hated it. Because what I had to do was basically, on national television, give everybody an accounting of our personal finances, which demonstrated how little money we had. Our assets after our liabilities were about $20,000. Not the amount that was in the trust fund that people were talking about, but just simply the amount that we had saved and a little bit of equity in a house. That was it. Well, Pat hated the fact that I told the world how little we had. But it was important. It had to be done. You know, campaigns are wonderful and terrible all at the same time. I should know, I'm a campaigner. It's what I've done almost all my entire life. I had a campaign in 1960. You might remember a little bit about it. Television had something to do with that one as well. I'll tell you what the situation was. I had been campaigning over the whole country. I had pledged that I would, in that campaign, visit all of the 50 states. And I was working my way around, using the airplane, of course, but on the other hand, it was a terribly exhausting experience. And it took its toll on me. This was in a studio in New York City. In 1960, the television cameras were not as good as they are today. The fact is that they needed a lot of light. And so we were under not just lights like this, but banks of lights like this. And I didn't use any makeup. I let the network cosmetics guy put a little pancake on my face. Jack Kennedy had been out sunning himself on the beach all week. And he was bright and shiny. He was all happy to be there. He was in great spirits. Now, I'll tell you something about that debate. Many people listened to it on the radio. Many others saw it on television. And this was in the early days of polling, but they actually did poll people who listened to the debate on the radio versus people who listened to it or watched it on television. And they decided, if they heard it on the radio, that I won the debate. They thought I made the best points. But the people on television thought that Jack Kennedy sure looked good. And they weren't sure whether they'd buy a used car from me. That's not the reason that the outcome was the way it was. I think you'd have to ask Mayor Daley about that. You know about Illinois and Chicago. Well,